Hi, here's a disclaimer for you. These are two guys who get really drunk and talk about shit in the stupidest way possible. So please don't take offense to anything we say, because we're going to be transphobic, homophobic, a little bit racist, a little bit sexist, a little bit misogynistic. It's just to get our point across. So please don't take offense to our show. And if you do, just let us know that you took offense to it on our Facebook page, Joel and Randy's Texas Tea. Do that. Bye.
What's up, you bitches and hoes? It's time for another episode of Joel and Randy's Texas Tea. I'm Chris. I'm your host, Chris. Mr. Chris, if you're nasty. That's right, bitches. I'm back. You thought I was dead, but I ain't. I'm still here. I got more people to annoy.
We did,
okay?
We thought,
and you already been annoying me the rest all day long. This is Joel Tatum here.
Yeah, I got Joe with me, and Mr. Pinky.
Mr. Pinky
is live and in color.
In color, yes.
And late as hell, bitch. Where you been? We were laying on the couch. This one took his just.
I read all his comics, and I was like, "Fuck comics!" And I was like, "Don't you got any books?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
And then he actually had some good books.
Yes, exactly. See, I'm not just a big dick. I also have a brain. Thank you.
You do.
Thank you.
I was quite impressed.
You have to be smart to read comics because they're ridiculously hard to follow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's all about reading comprehension.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean...
Anyway, what's up, guys? I haven't seen you in like 2 weeks.
I know. Randy is on a little retreat in the woods with his family.
Wait, is this with those gay fairies?
No, this is with his family. They too Baptist for all of that.
They're not at the pickle park, Chris.
They are not at the pickle park. They are they are probably mudding. I think that's the term that they call it. Mudding.
Oh, wow.
That's when you get into a vehicle and ride through the mud.
His family is so intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
We have a different definition of mudding because that's...
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that one. No.
That's usually I'm down and out for the night.
I call that a hot plate, actually.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
Serving up chili dog.
Hey, have you ever had that happen before?
No, thank goodness.
Because Now, Randy and I have this expression we call keeping the kitchen clean.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. We are big fans of a clean kitchen.
Yes, for sure.
Because that
doesn't like a clean kitchen.
Because you do not want to walk into a muddy kitchen.
No.
You don't want to walk into a dirty kitchen.
No.
And you certainly don't want to walk into a kitchen that had a lot of chefs in it at the same time.
So wait.
I'm not worried about how many chefs you had in your kitchen. I'm worried about if you had them all at the same time or not.
And if they left their like crumbs behind.
Yeah, exactly.
That's turned into bugs. They're crawling all around.
An extra letter there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So have you educated your listeners on how to keep a clean kitchen? Have we had an episode on that?
Yes, I think we did. We had an episode Randy and I had an episode a while ago on how to make sure you maintain a clean kitchen. Maintaining a clean kitchen is actually quite simple, really.
It really is.
You just need to make sure everything gets scrubbed and cleaned. Naturally.
I keep a sure shot.
Naturally.
You keep a what's that? Oh, that you squirt up there?
Oh, it's attached to the shower head. You got it like a separate...
You give yourself an enema in the shower?
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
Although they recommend that you don't do that too often.
No, yeah, you don't want to do that.
You don't want to, because it has the
mucus and whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because actually, amazingly enough, and I know there's a bit of irony in this, your butt is actually the cleanest part of your body.
Totally.
That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, because it kills all the germs and everything. It keeps a clean house on its own by itself if you eat properly.
Right.
If you eat properly, it keeps its house clean. It keeps its own kitchen clean.
It's
dirty,
self-cleaning, but it is not.
It's dirty, but it's clean.
Right, exactly.
I like that.
It is sterile.
I'm dirty, and
for the most part, too.
Yes, exactly.
So, generally, when you get pink eye, it's because of somebody else's kitchen.
That's
because that is not sterile to your own body. That's why they recommend urine in dire needs for water, because your body filtered out
What is that noise? That
The fire alarm.
Oh, that's the fire alarm.
Oh, are
That's
we in danger of dying?
No, we're not in danger.
battery
They just changed all the batteries not too long ago.
They must be putting them back in the same drawer. Just get them back
I
out.
guess so, because he came in and did all of that last week. He changed my batteries.
Oh,
I
did
really
he?
wish.
Change the batteries
I
in your
really
fire
wish he
alarm.
changed my batteries because Jose is hot. He
What,
is
really? Do you have
he
a
is
picture?
6'2". And you know I like a big guy.
Is it really?
I do like a big guy. Not
Well, what do you mean?
and let me put this out there. Here is my definition of the type of big guy I like. I like a big guy that looks like he used to play football years ago
Linebacker.
and has a little bit of a belly, but he still has the muscles and stuff.
That's hot.
That's hot.
Yes.
Like a kegerator.
Yeah.
It's still like solid. And
But he has a little bit of a belly, and I'm
But there's
okay with
fluff
that.
over it.
Yeah, there's
I
fluff.
like a guy who looks like he could run you over and has a little bit of extra pounds.
Yeah, I don't mind
I have
that.
a very wide range. Because
I do too, really.
yeah, I want both of those
I don't know what.
at the same time.
And I don't mind a big boy. I
You
usually,
gotta carry it well. I don't do sloppy.
but I just don't like sloppy big boy.
What's sloppy big boy?
They don't keep. They don't. Keep. They don't keep the kitchen clean. They don't keep any of
Yeah.
it clean.
Oh,
they just kind
I
of give up
see.
on themselves.
Yeah,
They
they've given up on
don't
themselves.
stay shaven. They don't.
If you're gonna be a big boy, you need to be. If you're gonna be a big
It's
boy and be
maintenance.
with me, you need to have a lot of
I got
confidence in who you are.
pulling off like
Damn.
You need to, I'm all about confidence in a man.
Yeah.
When I was
Wait.
young, I think when I was younger, it was all about
Actually, I
how
like
sexy he
I like the
looked and blah blah
insecure
blah blah
ones.
blah. Now all I care about is if you have a nice ass and a great personality.
I like the insecure ones because I like to play mind
Fake
games with
no
them. And when I'm done with them, they're just like, "What the fuck happened to me?"
That's very
I'm just kidding. Of course.
interesting.
I had the most amazing
Every guy
experience.
grinder.
I had the most amazing experience at work. We had a table of scientists.
Wait. Oh, at your
and
restaurant.
I nearly creamed my pants. I love.
Me too.
I love a smart.
I love a smart dude.
Oh, I love a smart. Anybody in the
vocabulary.
sciences? Anyone who is teaching? Anyone? I love it.
teachers.
For me, it's design,
Teachers.
architecture,
Yeah.
theater,
Yes, I love a highly intelligent man.
and vocabulary.
It's-
Or a highly
You use
intuitive.
a 5-syllable word, and I am.
I want to be Penny to whatever his name is on
You want to be what?
Penny from the Nerd Show on
Oh,
CBS.
oh God, no! What if this fucking ruins my high?
What are we
What
talking
the
about?
fuck ever? The Genius Show, whatever it's called.
Scorpion?
No. Comes on
Scorpion is
Thursday
actually
nights.
That-
I almost said How I Met Your Mother. That's not right.
I want to say Third Rock from the Sun.
No, the sciencey show. The sciencey
IEC,
comedy.
whatever it is.
With the gay man as the super smart guy.
We are
UA?
so moronic right now.
The AO.
I know.
No,
Where they do the hand thing?
Never mind.
No.
Anyway,
Anyways.
is someone going to think about it? No.
No.
Guess what I saw?
Guess what?
What did you see?
What did
I
you see?
saw Into the Spider-Verse.
What did you think?
I fucking thought it was brilliant.
Was it?
And
The message is
for our
really-
listeners, like 2 weeks ago, the last time I saw these bitches,
Mm-hmm.
I was all like, I fucking hate superheroes.
Uh-huh.
Superheroes are the dumbest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe was like, oh, but you guys see Spideyverse. It's the best movie ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I'll go see it. It was really good. And the animation was actually like mind blowing.
It really was. Like,
Mind
it's so
blowing.
juxtaposed.
Because you think
in
it's like,
styles
it
and
looks like
whatnot.
it's hand drawn, 2-dimensional, but it's actually like 3-dimensional.
And then
It was
it's got
Yeah,
like a
it's-
crepe paper move around.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's got like
And the
stylized.
comic panels that they used.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it
And
was.
each character is done in the style of animation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that-
exactly.
Of the universe
Yeah.
they come from. Like the pig is
Yeah.
very Looney Tunes animation.
Yeah.
The girl and the robot
Oh
are
my
super
God.
anime looking.
Mm-hmm.
And then
But
you
it
have
all had
the
a
two
cohesive
Spideys,
style.
they mix all of it and
Yeah.
get all the best qualities from all of
Yeah,
it.
exactly. And
The story was
and
good.
Spider Gwen was just so. She was
hot.
amazing. She was hot.
She was hot.
She was hot. She was amazing.
Spider Gwen.
I want to read her comics now because I'm like, when you have all these spider people suddenly coming around, I was not a big fan of Miles Morales when they first decided to do this. I'm a big Peter Parker guy.
Right.
I grew up on Spider-Man. Peter Parker was my guy.
Right.
So I was not a big fan of Miles Morales at first.
Right.
And then I read the comics, and I'm like, you know what? This is what the young people need. I love this character.
It really is.
I really do love this character, and they made him unique
because it's a mixed family.
Yeah,
he's super brainy, but he's somewhere totally new and all mixed up. And I think it's cool that they didn't water down like the fact you absolutely know his mother is Hispanic.
You absolutely know.
Get the common culture between Hispanics and families and how they're melded together. Super awesome.
Yeah,
but nothing felt forced.
No, it's not forced. It's not.
It felt authentic.
Yeah, it's really authentic, and
and the soundtrack had that whole jazz thing to it.
And it's just great storytelling. I love a movie with great storytelling.
Yes,
you don't have to have the best CGI as long as you can tell me a story and I am involved. I'm a happy person.
But there was one scene when, I forget where it was, but the octopus lady, she was coming into the scene, and she was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, this is fucking bad.
I know.
It really is.
I know. Wasn't it? It was like...
I wish live action movies would be more sophisticated.
I was actually surprised because, now I'm a big comic book nerd, and so there was a female Dr. Octopus. But that was on a Ben Reilly kind of thing. If any of you nerds, gay nerds out there, you know what I'm talking about. With the whole spider clone thing. But
I thought Pinky was a gay nerd.
But the fact that they had used a female Dr. Octopus in this movie was mind blowing. I knew exactly who she was the minute she started talking. I'm like, absolutely. I bet you she's Dr.
Octopus. The goggles give it away.
Well, what's funny is Dr. Octopus. I only have 2 superhero movies that I like, and Dr. Octopus is in both of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's very strange.
Yeah, I know, because the second Spider-Man movie was amazing.
Octopus fetish.
Oh, tentacle porn.
Oh, tentacle porn. Tentacle porn. There you go.
Are there other movies?
It's hentai.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And I watched hentai once.
I'm watching porn. I think
I watched hentai once, and I went, "Why do Japanese people have this thing with teenage schoolgirls?" That's all I could think of.
Every culture does.
What is it with teenage schoolgirls that? I'm like, you guys are a bunch of perverts.
Everyone is a little.
These girls are 15, 16 years old having sex with octopuses and all this other
stuff. You can't tell how old they are.
No, you can't.
And that's the thing.
And I can't even watch gay hentai because they look too young for me. I feel guilty watching gay hentai because these are boys.
How do I find gay hentai?
Just on any porn site.
www.
Is that where they have sex with like squids and stuff?
No. What's
the one where
animated? It's just animated. It's just animated.
Oh no! What's the one? There's no monster porn or something where there's I just saw one where there's this weird thing out from the sea and it was it looked like a vagina, but it started squirting things.
Oh yeah,
there's a name for that. It's like Japanese something or other.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and
it was disturbing.
Yeah. It's very disturbing.
Anyway,
I wouldn't say disturbing. It takes a lot to disturb me. I've seen and done things that people don't even know people do.
Give me a taste.
Yes, give us a taste.
I mean,
because I probably
give me a verbal taste.
Because I'm gonna be honest, I probably already did it.
I used to work at a fetish bar, so I got to see all kinds.
Is there a fetish bar in Houston?
No,
unfortunately, no.
The Ripcord kind of is the last bit of that.
Yeah.
But the Eagle should have been.
Yeah, the Eagle was supposed to be. Actually,
so disappointing.
Actually, there was a bar many years ago, and now I can't remember the name of it. But it used to be kind of a fetishy type of bar.
We're talking about Eagle when it was downtown?
It might have been.
Yeah,
Kryptonite. It might have been, yeah.
Kryptonite on Sundays was, because the owner is the same owner, and...
Oh, no. It was the Venture Inn. It was called the Venture Inn.
I like that, Venture Inn.
The Venture Inn was a big fetish bar.
Hey, I'm going to tattoo that on my back.
Yeah, it was a big fetish bar in Houston for many years.
Tie a rope around your waist.
In the, not in the Montrose, but it was off of...
Right.
Where the train is, off of Main Street and all that other stuff.
I've been there.
Not too far from Riches and all that stuff.
Karaoke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Venture Inn was a big fetish bar.
I think I got drunk and I was messing around the railroad.
And they had a little black room. They had a room upstairs. Well, it wasn't a room. It looked like it was in a theater. Mm-hmm. And they had this big space upstairs where they had these black curtains, and you can go back there and see all kinds of stuff going on. I mean,
where was it?
There used to be a bar back
The Venture Inn. This was a long time ago. They closed. unfortunately.
Detroit.
But,
Why do all the good things close? And we're stuck with fucking TABC.
Sorry, did I say that?
Really? You think so?
TABC is who controls that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they just closed because queers nowadays are into like.
Well, that's the thing.
More
TABC
commercialized
has
stuff.
rules against that, and once your liquor license is gone, you're dead in the water.
And we're going to talk about some of the issues that Texas seems to be having with gays later on in the show, because there were a couple of bills that I read about that made me go...
Are we getting into that now?
No, I said when we talk later in the show.
Oh, okay.
Well,
we can do it now since you brought it up.
But I don't want to talk about it now. I want to talk about it later.
Okay, well...
We'll talk about it after.
What else is going on with you, Mr. Joel?
This is your show. You tell us what's going on.
I'm asking you, what's going on? How was your fucking week, bitch?
He was not exonerated.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
No, he was not
exonerated. I will say that.
Right.
But we will talk about that later in the show, because I want to talk about that later. But as far as my week is concerned...
Wait, I want to hear about more penises on the bus. Tell me you saw another.
I did not see another. I didn't even think about that until. No, I haven't seen a dick on the bus in a while. So
2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks.
That's a while.
It has been
I have never seen a dick on the bus except my own.
Yes,
dick on the bus.
Mm-hmm. Dick on the bus. I saw some dick on the bus.
Dick on the bus. But it's
dicks on the bus. Go fat.
No, it's just a jackass that gets on the bus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
God. But I had a pretty good week. It wasn't too bad. I ended up meeting someone on Growler the other night and having a good time.
Well, okay.
Have you genuinely good time, or like
no? I mean,
tell me, how did it go? Did he say hi to you, or did you say hi to him first?
No, he said hi to me first.
Oh,
that's always nice.
And I usually just let that stuff go because I'm like, I'm working or I'm not in the mood or what have you. But I've been feeling a little randy lately.
Oh, that's that word again.
Mm-hmm. Little on the heated side, so to speak.
Fair enough. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what?
Every morning.
You know what? He's kind of cute. Why not? And he lived right down the street.
He's kind of cute. Why not?
And he lived right down the street. Yeah, exactly. He was kind of cute.
I say that about people. He'd do it last call.
Mm-hmm. So I decided to go. I said, well, you're only 3 blocks away. I guess I'll just walk down there. I did my first walk of shame. I enjoyed it.
Good.
I had my shoes in my hand.
Awesome.
I had my shoes in my hand.
Did you have your underwear in your pocket? Or
no, actually, the weird thing was that I had my socks in my hand because I didn't put my socks back on, and he handed me my socks when I was leaving. He goes, "You forgot your socks." And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll walk down the street with socks.
He just wanted to
Wait, you didn't even put your shoes on to walk back home?
No, I put my shoes on. I just forgot to put my socks on.
I was going to say, that's how you know you got it good. Mm-hmm. If you're not even fucking worried about putting your shoes back on.
Girl, it was good.
Dude, one time I ended up on the other side of Key West with no shoes, and I had to walk all the way back.
Oh, wow.
At like 3 o'clock in the morning.
It sounded like you minded not having your shoes.
It's a long story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like the same kind of...
No, it wasn't.
That we're talking about.
Yes, but we had
West, though.
You know how you have... when you have these random little sexual meetings...
yeah.
Sometimes it just doesn't work. Sometimes you get somebody and you're like, this is not working. Thank you for coming over. Mm-hmm. I appreciate your time, but this is not working. And I hope you didn't drive 45 minutes to an hour to get here for lousy sex.
I've only done that once when I was like, this ain't happening. Because you were not anything like, you represented yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, no, it was the one time that someone came over and it just didn't work. He wanted to do things that I didn't want to do, and I'm like,
aren't you supposed to sort that out before you go over?
That's what I thought. He asked me if I was.
I will never understand the
He asked,
we're not going to talk. You're just going to come over. Like, I'm not. And then they what's your address?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'd like to know.
Giving you my address? Are you crazy?
He asked me if I was a top. I said I'm versatile. So what do you need me to be this evening? He goes, I need you to be a top. I said, that's fine. I can do that.
I usually say I get in where I fit in.
I can do that. And then he came over, and we didn't get anywhere in the top territory because all he wanted to do was sword fight, so to speak.
Oh, right.
That sounds hot.
But I like it too, but I like it when it's mixed in with everything else. I don't like it as the primary sexual thing.
Sword
frottage.
Yes. That's what it's called.
Wait, is this foreplay? Frottage. What's that?
No penetration sex.
No penetration sex.
I'm all about that. Yeah.
So I don't mind when it's part of the sexual act. I mind it when it is the sexual act.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
We're incompatible. That's okay though.
I mean, I like the idea of giving someone a blowjob. I like the idea of the touching and feeling the skin and all this other stuff. And like I said, I don't mind the rubbing of the dicks together. I don't mind that because that's how I started off when I first did gay sex.
Right.
Because I thought that's all it was.
Right.
Until I saw porn and I went, oh, what the hell is he doing to that man?
Right.
And then I realized I want to do that. I want to try that.
Right.
So when I tried that, I realized that's what I want to do. And then I tried this.
Different.
But
I feel like more people are like that now that PrEP is around. So more people used to be okay with just have no penetration sex. So I was like, when I was in LA getting on apps for the first time, I was like, wow, this is awesome. But once PrEP came around, everyone's like, are you a top? Are you a top? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I might be a top. Who knows? I don't know who the fuck you are.
Like, hi, my name's Chris.
I mean, if you really turn me on, I'll do whatever the fuck you want.
Look, here's
you hear that, y'all?
Here's where I'm having an issue with PrEP, and this is the only issue that I'm having with PrEP. I think PrEP is a wonderful thing. I think the idea when used properly,
as a smart practice.
Yes.
It is not a bulletproof vest.
No, it is not.
It's
and
not.
there are too many kids out there running around with that mentality.
Speak it, Pinky. Preach.
First of all, let me tell you like this: it's not just the kids. Older men think the same thing. Older men think the same 100%.
thing. And my biggest issue with that is like people talking about information and like they still have trials for the drug that have not ended yet, that just hit their midway point. And like if you read the fine print in these studies, they are excluding and minimizing the included data.
Yeah.
Like people whose T cells hit a certain number get excluded from the result data. Couples that have cheating or infidelity get excluded from.
Interesting.
Here's
I mean,
all of the things.
You have a drug that's preventing a virus from getting into your DNA.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck is that drug doing to your body?
Yeah, exactly.
Who knows?
A little bit less than the other drugs were doing to you.
True. Right.
And I have had sexual relations with people who are HIV positive, and
I have too.
Their viral loads were so low that they couldn't even spread it. So because of the medication and the cocktails that they're on now,
which is great,
which I think is great, which is now they can actually have a little bit more freedom when it comes to sex.
The stigma isn't quite there like it used to be.
Exactly. So, like I said, I think PrEP is a wonderful idea, and I think it's the most beautiful drug that you could possibly imagine. However, here's what I'm having a problem with on the growler and the rest. All these men talking about being cum dumps, having all these men come up one behind,
door open, right?
Door open.
Eventually, if it's 97% effective, that's 3. If you're getting fucked every day,
yeah, exactly.
That's like the thing for me. Like the question I love to ask people when because I have this kind of stance about it. I'm like, oh, I'm not there on that level with you as far as like, oh my god, this changes everything. I still prefer to be the cautious person I am. Like working with the amount of numbers that I've been through as far as guys concerned, like the fact that I'm not positive means I'm doing something right. Like you can't the ratio and the odds are against me. Like I'm total hoe bag, 100% own it. But I haven't ever gotten anything.
Good for you.
And I say, if I handed you a pistol and I said there is a 0.01 chance that this will go off when you pull the trigger, would you put that gun up to your head and pull the trigger?
If it made you feel amazingly good.
Motherfucking no.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. But and there's differences with love and like whatever. But like if I walked up to you on the street and knew you for 4 seconds and handed you this pistol, Would you pull the trigger then?
Well, what do I get?
Who knows?
I mean, I just get...
What is
You get dead. That's what you
I
get.
get... No, I'm not going to pull the trigger.
Well, right. No, the chances of it happening are 0.01, though. 1 in 100.
I got it.
1 in 1,000. 1 in 10,000. Would you pull the trigger?
1 in a billion.
And see, that's the only problem that I have with
I just feel
these
like that
guys
mentality is a safer place.
who want to have their hotel room door open and have one man after another banging you in the ass.
See, I'm too paranoid after another. Like my camera
exactly.
I'd be like, stand around like...
I don't know. I don't really understand that. Maybe you guys could explain that to me. I don't get that concept. Like, I don't understand why somebody... Is it a need that they're trying to fulfill that they're not getting? Or are they just... Is it so pleasurable that
I have no idea.
I feel like it could be a multitude of things. Like, he could be a sub who was put on assignment to do that. And, his dom is, like, in charge and, like, is... they're in the room, not aforementioned, and, like, for all you know, he's just some guy waiting in line.
See, if I was a dom, I'd be like, make me a pizza, not, like, go get fucked by 100 guys in a
Well, people nowadays, and, like, the whole, like, meanness and the fact that we're, mean to each other and the bullying and the whatnot, I think has saturated into, like, the dom subculture, because it didn't used to be what it is now.
Interesting.
And, like, people are really...
I don't really...
I mean, I kind of like violence. Like, that's why I like wrestling. Because people are like...
And there is a bit of that.
I'm going to slightly disagree with that because I think that when it comes to a dom-submissive relationship, doms usually are going to be in more control on who's going to be coming through the front door.
100%.
As opposed to someone who's a cum-dump. Well,
they don't care.
They don't care.
Right.
They literally don't care. And I think on a certain level that there is a certain amount of pleasure in having... They want to work out that fantasy, especially when they watch porn. Absolutely. Porn is a fantasy.
Right, and there's that whole cuckold thing.
Yeah, so it's... And the fact that they are feeling a level of safeness that they never felt before because of PrEP.
Yeah.
Because of PrEP.
They
are feeling, I can do it raw. I can take all your sperm as much as you want. Give it to me. For some men, that is power.
Maybe there's an evolutionary reason for that, because sperm is life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Well, so it gives men a certain amount
I need as much sperm as possible.
Exactly. As much as possible.
No.
As much as possible.
To the news.
I'll take a bath. If I can take a bath in it, I will.
We need to, like, cleanse ourselves.
Pull it out, shoot it up my back. Wonderful, marvelous.
Yeah, we do have some important things to talk about.
We did. By the way, speaking of that, there was a little bit of a story in Ireland where this guy thought by shooting sperm into his back it would heal his backache. And all it did was cause him blood poisoning, by the way. It was hilarious.
Whose sperm did he shoot into his back?
The doctors went looking to find out if maybe he saw this on the internet or something like that. There was no instance of it on the internet where somebody said shoot sperm into your back and it'll help your backache.
No, but I mean, sperm does have a certain, like, abrasive healing
I think
properties.
He thought that there was some kind of stem cell kind of thing going on and said, well, if sperm is involved in it, maybe it'll heal my back.
It can help with, like, you have a cut or something, something tiny, something...
I don't know.
Something dermal, but, like, nothing...
Know. Okay, so y'all don't go injecting sperm into your back.
Yeah, please don't.
Let somebody else do it.
Just swallow it.
Yeah, just swallow it or put it in, put it in your kitchen. Put it in your kitchen.
Vacuum seal that shit. And sell it on eBay.
I used to be told that it was really great for the skin. You get a little on the face, rub it in, and it's really good for the skin. It helps the skin recover.
Well, and that's where it helps with the dermis with, like, cuts separating and stuff like that.
I think this is why gay men, no matter how big or small we are, we have excellent skin.
Just inundated.
I think we all, no matter what culture you're from or what have you, if you're gay, you probably have excellent skin from a lot of sperm. You probably do.
And if you don't have good skin, go get more sperm.
It means you're not getting enough sperm?
I mean, how many gays do you see walking around with pimples right now? Not many. And not unless they're newly gay, and then they'll discover the wonders of sperm later on.
Well, and that is like, it's mostly backing you from getting the rub and tug, or like, it's like you should really wash all that massage
I feel
oil
like you guys have had like an infinite amount more sperm than me.
Okay, so, I haven't had an infinite amount, but when I get it,
I have had it.
I savor it. I savor it because I never know when I'm going to get it again. If I could put it in the freezer, I would.
I thought those were ice cubes.
I think it depends. Sometimes
I thought that tasted funny.
Mm-hmm. When you're a little older, it gets a little harder to get to. But when you get it, you enjoy it. You enjoy the hell out of it.
As is most things when you get older.
Mm-hmm. You enjoy the hell out of it. You might not do it as often, but you enjoy the fuck out of it when you do.
I was watching the review and they mentioned about
sperm.
Well, they were talking about STDs, and it like registered with me because she said the Villages, which is like this huge retirement community. It was McCain, who was talking about it, but like. I think the highest concentration of STDs that are treated are in senior living
they are.
communities. Yeah, because they just like, I don't care.
Seniors are having more sex than millennials are.
Oh, 100%. Like, in the retirement home, like,
they are having
audience. It's like a bathhouse.
They are having more sex than millennials are. Poor millennials.
People
our age are having sex a lot.
That's a millennial's fault. They're lazy.
Well, that's why millennials usually come to guys like me, because I'm like, oh Lord, you want me to teach you something? I'm not a teacher.
They do make the best
food. If you don't know what you're doing, I'm sorry.
You gotta teach.
I know. Not when it comes to that.
Pass down the baton, bitch.
No, not when it comes to that.
Oh, now we're calling it a baton. Great. Now
pass down the whatever.
You know, and you're probably right about that. You probably are, because my best teachers were older men.
Yes.
My best teachers, when I was 25, I was dating men 45, 50 years old.
To pass on knowledge and like really wreck somebody for other men. Like, you do that right, and
I just
piss poor performances all these other kids are putting.
I don't mind passing on knowledge every now and then, but
especially now with millennials, most of what they know from sex is like from
porn,
terrible
porn.
It's not actual real sources.
It's porn. That's where they learn. This is where they learn all their stuff from. Porn. And let me remind you, millennials, one more time. Porn is a fantasy. These are actors doing acting gigs. Thank you. It is not real sex in the sense of sex.
That was where I got my sexual education. Real sex. Real sex. The show on HBO.
Yeah, that's where I got my education
real
too.
Sex. You learn about erogenisms. You learn about all kinds of
exactly.
Real sex.
Real sex on MTV was the most brilliant show ever.
Wait,
it was on MTV.
Is that what that doctor
Did it move to HBO?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're right. It was on HBO. Sorry. I'm thinking about another. Dr. Drew. I also learned a lot from Dr. Drew, too. Because Dr. Drew talked about a lot of gay issues on MTV that wasn't talked about at that time. And MTV was really at the forefront of bringing gays into the mainstream. Because a lot of their shows would have gay characters. They would show sex between men and women.
Shock value, yeah.
Gays and lesbians having sex on some of their shows. One of my favorite shows used to be this little single show that they used to have where they were all in college and they were all just running around having sex with each other. And
The Real World?
No. It was besides The Real World. This Real World was unscripted. This was a scripted show.
Oh.
So, yes. And it was cute. And I was in my 20s, maybe early 30s.
In California?
Early 30s when I was watching this. And it was just a fun little show where everybody was hooking up with everybody and they would talk about the interactions. And it was very...
Gossip Girl?
Very educational.
Gossip.
But it was very funny.
Scripted, you said?
Yeah, this is scripted.
Oh, okay.
Scripted MTV. So, yes, it was very educational. And it was the first time that I'd seen two gay men in bed together with you, kissing each other, in bed together with each other. It was no big deal. And I think MTV really helped educate people on what gay is and what being, because a lot of the characters weren't super effeminate. They had one instance where they had a character that was effeminate and another one that was straight acting. It was so cute, and they got together, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
So this is before Queer as Folk.
This was before Queer as Folk.
Okay,
before the original too.
No, I don't think before the original. I think the original was played in Great Britain at the time before.
Well,
but it was like a little comedy show about college life and everything else, and sex and all this other stuff.
You remember what it was called?
I do not, and going to have to look that up. Now I'm curious, because I'm going to have to look it up. But
yeah.
I used to
look it
came out in the early 2000s, if I recall. If I recall, it was the early 2000s, the late 90s, early 2000s. But it was the first time I saw gay relationships on TV.
Wow.
And MTV was the pioneer of that, and most people don't give MTV credit for that.
Wow.
MTV was the pioneer.
Right, it wasn't Logo.
It wasn't.
And then Logo's birth child, when MTV started, like, going MTV2 and MTV, you know, everything.
You know, I was always disappointed by the fact that Logo and Here did not become more mainstream. I really wish they...
It was, I think
did you ever watch Noah's Ark?
I love Noah's Ark. Oh my God!
When I lived in LA, I saw one of the guys in the grocery store.
Oh, really?
That sounds so familiar.
It's on.
I know that.
By the way, Noah's Ark.
It's like a gay black guys.
Yes,
like,
it was. My cousin and I watched it. We were religious fans.
I loved it.
We were religious fans, and when I was showing,
I just watched it all like.
I know
days.
when I would show my white friends this show because they had never heard of my white gay friends had never heard of this show.
Yeah.
And I would let them watch an episode or two, and they were like, "Girl, I love this show.
Yeah.
I'm hooked, bitch. I'm hooked."
And the birth of the BBC craze happened.
The BBC craze. What's that?
Big black cock.
Oh,
they all wanted a BBC.
Not
British broadcasting.
No, the BBC,
Channel.
the big black cock.
Oh.
Yes.
Channel.
But
Speaking of the BBC.
Noah's Ark was the tea, girl. It was the tea. And you know what? They have.
it.
By the way, if you want to watch Noah's Ark now, you can do it on YouTube. YouTube now has all the shows.
Oh, of course.
So,
everything.
Pinky, you need to watch. You need to watch it.
Because I know that I've seen it.
Because this
like
Noah has
hair, right?
Yes, Noah has the most amazing fashion sense I've ever seen. And
Noah,
I think it's a little bohemian
Noah
for me, but
light skinned, was he? I forget.
he's dark skinned.
Who's the light skinned guy with the afro?
Well, he had like a boyfriend towards the end. It's hard to remember exactly, but Noah was a little chunky, wasn't he?
No, Noah was not chunky in any way, shape, or form. Noah had a fantastic
I feel
body.
like he was more like
he had a fantastic body.
Oh, did he? Fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes, Queen. He had a fantastic body.
What is
He had dreads or something, right?
He had different hairstyles.
But it was like always right here, like Ryan Cabrera.
He always had this little fro going on, but girl, he would braid it, pop it up,
right?
Put some extensions on it.
Oh yeah,
put a scarf in it.
Oh yeah, his friend was a little bit more chunkier.
Yeah, his friend was a little bit chunkier.
I'm trying to find the guy that I saw at the grocery store. Anyway.
And the super light skinned guy who used to date the super effeminate queen who worked at the clinic.
I don't.
He was a firefighter, girl. He was hot. Girl, he was hot.
So, do we want to take a break or do we want to go to the news?
I think it's time. You know what? It's time for a break. We need to take a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have had a good time sharing our wares and wherewithals and kitchens and
totally light skinned. That's exactly who I thought it was.
Who are you talking about? Bitch, who are you talking about?
Noah.
Noah is not light skinned.
That's Noah, right?
Yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
he is at least.
We are going to take a quick break.
He is an almond color in that he is almond colored, and that's good makeup.
The inside of the almond.
That's good makeup.
What do I do? Pause.
Hold on. No. Hold on. Hold on. Mess this up. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, bitches, we're back.
We're back.
Back.
Now, before we get into this jibber jabber whatever, we have important news things to talk about.
Okay.
We have the Senate bill that just passed the Texas Senate. So if you live in Texas, there's this bill that basically is legalizing gay discrimination.
Yep.
So I think there's one more vote.
It's a religious bill.
Yes, it's a religious bill.
And by the way, I want to go a little further because here's what San Antonio did. San Antonio decided that they want Chick-fil-A at their airport. This is what San Antonio said, because of your discriminatory practices, we don't want you at our airport.
They said that
the Texas legislator and the Texas Attorney General went, I think that might be religious discrimination.
What the?
Wait, say again?
Yes.
I don't get it.
Yes. The Texas Attorney General said that might be religious discrimination.
Chick-fil-A pulling the religion card.
Oh, so Chick-fil-A can be at the airport even though they...
Yes. So that bill that you're talking about is a bill that's going to affect everyone.
Pretty much, yeah. And the basis of the bill is they want people to be able to not have to do something that violates their religious principles.
Yeah, but what if they're religious?
That's where they're coming from.
But here's the thing, and what if their religious principles say that I don't like black people?
Bingo.
I don't like Arab people.
Bingo.
I don't like women.
Yeah, you're going to get people not serving...
Exactly.
And now we've digressed.
So now we're saying that because you're a Christian... Because you're Christian.
I'm not serving you because you're Catholic.
Because you're Christian and your beliefs say that you can't serve certain people.
Right.
Now you're going to be able to discriminate against me? Fuck you, Texas. Yeah.
Let's do everything that we can to incite a civil war.
Because Randy said it better. Randy said it the best. He said, once you discriminate against gay people, you're going to discriminate against everybody else.
True.
And if you don't like black people in your restaurant and by the way, this bill is not a new bill. This is a bill that was brought up in the 50s.
Yeah. But the thing is, this is so going backwards with the tide of progressive movement.
But this is the same bill.
It's only going to end up hurting Texas.
This is the same bill that was brought up in the 50s when it came to black people. Oh, I don't want to. I want to be able to use my religious freedom to say that black people don't belong in my restaurant. Black people don't belong in my neighborhood. Black people don't belong in my school. This is the same religious bill that was brought up during the 50s.
Yes, for sure.
And it's being brought up again.
For sure, yep.
Again, in the Texas legislature. And the Texas legislator.
I think there's one last vote for it to go through, but it's just be aware of y'all. There might be. This is the time for us to join together and just be strong.
Right. Make your representatives aware that you.
Yeah, just be aware of what's going on.
By the way, no city wants this bill.
Right.
None of the large cities in Texas wants this bill. And none of the businesses.
The major companies like Apple, Facebook, they're all like, no, we do not support this. We ask you not to do this.
We ask you not to do this, and you're going to do this anyway? So, no, we're not going to do this. So, as Texas, as a big business state, to watch your businesses walk out the door because you're going to put this bill in place, because you believe in your religious liberty to do so.
The big oil bubble is burst. So.
It's burst. And Houston has already learned this. This is why Houston has decided that we're not going to rely on oil as much as we used to.
So there's that. What other news stuff is going on? Do we have anything else?
He was not exonerated.
Yes.
The king of the Oompa Loompas was not exonerated.
Yes, that.
Okay.
But they just keep touting, like, he's fully exonerated. Know this, know that. And it's like... And then you hear about part of the reason it hasn't been released, the whole report hasn't been released yet, is like, because it takes X amount of time to redact the amount of the report that is being redacted.
Right.
It's like something like 400 pages, I think was the reference they made to like how much of it is being redacted. It's like, what is the point in doing something like that?
Can I redact my life?
No, you cannot redact your life. And by the way, dear audience,
just don't have a profile picture on your Grindr.
Dear audience of the people who are listening to our show, this is what happens when you do a show.
What?
You get people who don't understand how this works, and you have a good time with it, and you have a great time with it.
What is he talking about?
I'm talking about you two.
He's talking about your zero structure show.
No, I'm talking about the fact that you also need to work on the fact that you guys need to have fun.
I'm totally having fun.
Your last show was about you being... Yes.
Right.
Anyway,
relax. Have a good time.
Relax, bitch. We're having fun. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, no. There's nothing wrong with me because you are doing a great job, by the way.
Oh, now you're doing my ass, bitch. I'm about to cut your mic off.
Are you going to come off my mic?
I'm about to put you in the corner.
Guess what?
You can't stick it until you lick it.
Oh, you got to stick it till you lick it.
Anyway.
If you eat it, you gotta breathe it.
Anyway, over the week, I had some interesting encounters with people, and it just made a thought popped into my head. what type of person would I have? Would I be the same type of person if I'd actually been, if everything about me had been the same, except I had been born straight instead of gay? So I kind of wanted to ask you guys.
I have like a totally solid answer for that.
What do you think? Because there's benefits to being straight that we miss out on.
I don't.
Society's sort of all geared towards making you succeed if you're straight.
With my lack of family machine and like all of that, like I very early on stopped giving a crap about, like, I didn't give a crap what my parents thought of me and my success in academia or anything else. And so I just kind of like grew from there. Like, I don't care what you think I do for a living. I don't, I worked in bars, I worked in restaurants, I worked, I did drywall, I did roofing, I did everything that I wanted to do. And I don't think that portion of my life, like the fact that I don't give a fuck, would have changed at all had I been straight.
Can I tell you this? You have a lot of skills and a lot of shit. You have a lot of skills and a lot of shit.
What is it called? A
maker.
No, what is it?
Master.
Where you do
jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades.
Master of none, but often better than.
My God, you have skills in areas that are amazing. By the way, you're going to help me put up curtains because I need to do it.
Okay, well, let's stay on
that's what
topic. Let's not get all over the place.
No, we're not doing that. But
AKA, I'm fabulous.
So, but you were going to say, like, what? How do you think your life would be different?
If
you were attracted to women
through high school, and I won't say that I'm not attracted to women, but it's a totally different kind of thing. I had a gal.
Oh right, no, you were married, weren't you?
No. My ex was married, but I came close. Like, I had a whole plan. Like, I graduated with a 1.9, and I was going to stick it to my parents and have a great life anyway, even though they told me I was never going to be nothing, blah, 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 because you didn't get good grades, blah, blah, blah. So I originally had enlisted in the Marine Corps.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not enlisted in the Marine Corps. I had joined a delayed entry program. And there was a gal I was seeing for, like, ever. Like, my middle school sweetheart. She's a lesbian now. She's, like, engaged.
So your life probably wouldn't have been a whole lot of different.
No, it would have been totally different, because had I not come to this sort of realization about myself, I would have gone through with joining the Marine Corps. I would have proposed to her before leaving for basic training. And who knows where it would have gone from that. I would have studied Uniform Code Military Justice in the Marine Corps and gotten out after 4 years and studied civilian law with the GI Bill and the college fund kicker and all of that stuff. But I don't think that I would trade having that level of life for the freedom and, like, if I wanted to live somewhere, I lived there. If I wanted to do something, I did it. If I wanted to, work somewhere, I worked there. I know I was, it's a bit of a transient kind of mentality about things, but, like, I didn't have any agenda. Like, no family to support. I have a dog now.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a dog guy, for sure.
So you you think you would probably be your life would be more structured and normal if you had been straight, and you sort of...
Definitely. I would have been way more responsible and way less broke.
Right. What about you, Joel? How do you think your life would be different?
Oh. Okay, you're asking me a question. Can I say this? When you proposed this as an idea, I went, how? I can't possibly come up with anything.
Why?
Because you're asking me a question that I never really thought about. And
well, you had 3 days to think about it.
Yeah, I know. But
like, not having the depth that I did, actually seeing where that was going off in that direction.
Yeah, I know.
A scope of that.
But I never thought about myself as being straight.
Right.
Ever. Never thought about it. When I look back on every instance of my life, and I do look at every instance of my life, I remember myself as a 11-year-old kid pretending to sweep off a driveway, and there was a ditch there. And I was pretending to sweep off a driveway. And in my head, in my imagination, I thought it was a lake house with me and my husband in a lake house enjoying our time with family time.
When you were 11?
When I was 11. Wow. So I was never...
Your identity at that age. I'm kind of jealous.
Wait,
that was
you didn't grow up knowing, so you had some sort of identity issues.
Well, it just wasn't something that I paid any attention to.
No,
not
but
to sweat.
I understand, but when I thought about what your question was what would I think of myself as a straight person?
How do you think your life would be different?
How I think my life would be different as a straight person? I'm going to tell you like this. I never thought of my life as a straight person. I never did.
Well, that's not answering the question.
I know, and I'm trying to figure out how to answer the question. And I thought about it for
3
a
days,
week.
And you haven't figured it out.
I know, and I never thought. I kept trying to think of how do I look at you in the face and go, how do I come up with an answer?
Just look at this note
for the question of what I would be as a straight person. I can be honest. I never thought of myself as a straight person.
Well, no, but would you have a family? Do you think?
Okay, well,
or would you be a bachelor? Would you be in your position, completely paralleled as a straight man who is an established bachelor?
Well, thank you. Because here's the thing, I probably would not have gotten married. Probably would not have had kids. I don't like kids. I don't like
right, especially with your dad being the womanizer.
No, here's the thing. I realized, I thought about this because people had asked me this before. If gay marriage were to become a thing, and this was before it became a thing, would you want to have a family and all that other stuff? And I said, no, I would not want that because that's not for me.
Right.
I like my idea of freedom, of being able to do the things that I want to do. And I realize when I look at my straight male friends, and their duty is to be straight. It's a duty. It's not just about being straight. It is a duty.
Yeah, that's a very good way of saying it.
Yeah, right. It is
such
a duty.
A heavy,
you find someone.
If you're straight, society gives you your purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, you have to check off certain boxes.
Yeah.
But gay society...
Well, it makes it... That kind of can make life easier in a way. Because
yeah.
you don't have
there's not the uncertainty.
There's not the uncertainty.
Do I get a puppy? Do I not get a puppy? Do I get an extra bedroom? Do I never buy a house? Do I
have kids, raise them?
Exactly.
Whereas, since we were gay, we
set benchmarks.
We are separate from that. And
yeah, exactly.
Especially
freedom, like you were saying.
There's so much more freedom.
Community, at all different ages. My ex was, I think he was 37 when he came out. He was a straight guy.
See, I don't understand that. I don't get that at all.
It's they were from a smaller Texas city, a subsidiary of Houston.
Yeah, you do.
He had to do that.
Think about it,
Dad.
Don't say that you don't understand it because you do. Because we just literally talked about
dad.
When you are born and supposedly supposed to be a heterosexual man, you have to do all the things that a heterosexual man is supposed to do.
And gay is not
when you grow up.
I know, and I played that role too. Somewhere until my freshman year in college, but all the while I knew I was playing a role. I never was like, oh, I'm gay. I didn't know that. I always knew.
For me, it wasn't like that. It wasn't sexuality was I guess in that sense I was a late bloomer.
How do you mean?
Because me and Courtney, who's the gal who, still to this day I'd take a bullet for her. I love her to death. We weren't together because we were hormonal teenagers. We never slept together.
I knew in third grade
I'm still a gold star.
I had something towards boys that I didn't have.
I never actually started looking at boys. His name was Jeff. His first name was Jeff. I won't say his last name, just in case any of my Facebook friends listen to this. But the cutest guy ever.
Okay.
But it wasn't really until super duper late, and even at that point in late 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, I was watching, the real sex. I was getting that sex education, and nowhere in any of that context was there a distinguishing between straight. It was really a fluid kind of thing. So I never thought of gay versus straight. I'm not into boys. I used to, as long as they don't touch me, I don't have anything against them. But I'm not like that. I like girls.
Interesting.
But there was no we weren't her and I weren't together or akin to each other the way that we were because we were hormonal teenagers trying to hook up. We like bonded. We could spend 8 hours on the phone,
right?
Just talking. And this is when it tied up the line,
right? I think if I was straight, it would have made my life easier in a way because I have a natural connection with women, and I think if I was straight, I would naturally have I would be in a good relationship with them, and I'd probably be married, and I'd probably have kids, and I'd probably have a better purpose for my life because the kids would give me purpose.
You don't think your dynamic, your makeup would change if you were straight? You wouldn't have...
I don't know. That's a good question. Like, would I not be as intuitive with women if I was straight?
Is the homosexual in you, and seeing that from...
I think they're kind of
objective...
I think they kind of go hand in hand in some way.
Yeah, and I won't say it's an effeminate thing. Like, lots of straight guys and even gay guys associate it with us being feminine. It's like, no, we just don't like being treated like that by other men, so we get what they're going through. Right. Because we both go through it with dickhead guys. It's nothing to do with us being like women in any sense other than we know what it's like to be with a guy who's a jerk-off.
How is our show going, Mr. Producer?
I think it's going really well, and I think that was the most illuminating thing that you've... Wow, I did not think that was illuminating.
Did I blow your mind?
You blew my mind. Because I'm in the opposite direction.
What blew your mind?
I think the idea...
It's like a polar opposite of his vision as a straight guy and your version of a straight guy.
I never, like I said, I thought of my life. I tried, even when I was a kid, to think of my life as a heterosexual person.
See,
and I couldn't do it.
See, I'm stuck in.
I had an idealist
because even when I was 11 and I was thinking about having a fabulous house on the lake, with a lot of kids and all kinds of stuff running around and all this other stuff, I thought of myself with a dude. I never thought of myself with a woman.
When I was,
and I tried to do the heterosexual thing with which is when I was a kid, your first kiss is with a girl. So you want your first kiss to be with a girl.
Right.
And you know what my first kiss was? My first kiss was with a girl until her father saw me outside of the door, called my parents, and I got an ass whooping for that.
And that was the last time you kissed a girl.
And then I went back to school and got beat up by a bigger girl for kissing the girl that I kissed. So, yes, I was done.
So you had
I realized that
butch
I realized I was done. I realized I was done, and it wasn't that. It was more in the lines of, like I said, I'd always pictured myself with another dude.
It must have been easier
Nature
for you because I had a big dichotomy in me. Like, I knew I was gay, but at the same time I had this fantasy of this idealized life where I had lived in a house, I was a writer, I had a wife and 2 kids.
Yeah.
And my first gay friend that I had, he became a pen pal. I told him I wrote him this whole idealized life of what I want. And he was like, dude, you're gay. You're not going to have a wife. That's not going to happen. And it was just it was so mind-blowing because it was these 2 dichotomies that I could never put together. And eventually I got out of that.
Can I tell you?
I'm completely happy. I would
Can
not
I tell
want
you
to be
this?
straight.
I did have a hard time with that, by the way.
Yeah,
I wanted to be like my friends.
Both perspectives, because I landed right.
I wanted to be like my friends. I knew my friends were going to get married and have wife and kids. I wanted to do that.
I see people
but I knew kids, that I was never going to do that. I knew I was never going to do that.
I like kids.
See, and
I don't like kids at all.
Myself and my identity, and just like myself as a person, and didn't ever try to emulate anyone or any kind of picture of. I mean, and my upbringing was rocky at best. So like longevity and like future and white picket fence was not like we were like, okay, what are we doing at the end of this week? Kind of forethinking in the mentality that we were at as kids, and like it never dawned on us to like have these wild aspirations because my parents were teenage kids when they had kids themselves. So there was never that
kids having kids.
Yeah, there was never a way to emulate or like, oh, this is what my parents did wrong. Like my parents did everything wrong, so I didn't want to do anything like my parents ever. So
neither did I.
I had wonderful parents.
It's like
I'm glad you did because my parents.
They sheltered me too much.
That's
the one thing they did wrong, is they sheltered me too much.
Well, and that's where we bond, but I also had the thing with Courtney where, like, I could see and it was just because I feel like she's the other side of my soul.
By the way, I want to tell you this. My parents weren't horrible parents.
Mine weren't either.
They didn't abuse me or any of that stuff. They just weren't meant to be parents. They didn't know how to parent.
Right.
They honestly did not know. I had a mother who
knows how to
did
parent?
not want to have children. She did not want to have children, and she was told by everybody in her family that, because you're a woman, this is what you have to do.
You're a baby factory.
I think my parents loved me too much. Is that a terrible thing to say? Like, I feel like it didn't prepare me for the world.
Good God, why are you? I don't have great parents.
No, I mean,
you have great parents.
they are good parents.
But, like, and this sounds crazy.
It doesn't mean that I don't love my parents any less.
Yes,
I just know who my parents are, and my parents.
You might love your parents more than I love mine.
Yeah, exactly. I know who my parents are.
Yeah,
they're real people, and they were real people.
My parents are aliens,
and I was able to be a real person because of them.
Right.
So I said, I never had the idea of being straight because I never thought about being straight ever.
And I never thought of it as gay or straight. I just thought of it as like.
I just knew that my life,
where I was at projected. Like,
that's gender heavy.
My entire
that's gender heavy.
If you're pioneering and you're taking measurements on a map and you're looking at your compass, you're like at a starting position and you are triangulating where you need to get to.
Wow.
And so, like, with that constantly being in a state of flux and whatnot, like, it's always changing. But
it's like you're fertilizing my mind with ideas.
But at the time, like, I didn't think of it as like I was straight. I was like, I was with Courtney. She's like, she completes me. And to this day, like, heaven help anyone who ever, like, does her any harm.
I had a girlfriend.
I will put them inside the ground.
I had a girlfriend for a month, and I didn't even know I had a girlfriend.
What? They do that.
Yeah, I have a girlfriend for a month, and I didn't even know I had a girlfriend.
I don't get
and
that.
she told me,
"Do you still know her name?"
All my girlfriends were wonderful, and
she said, "Hey, so when are we going to get to the next level?" What are you talking about the next level? I thought we were just friends. I didn't know you're kissing me and you're grabbing my crotch. Are you serious? I did not know we were by week 3.
She was doing what with your crotch?
We went to see a movie and we were having a great time. She said, "Hey, would you like to go to the movie?"
If you go to the movie, that means she's your girlfriend.
Yeah, I did not know that. By the way, I did not know that. I was young. I told you this story. I was all about being gay.
Joe, you need to chill out. Have fun. Have fun with the show.
But it didn't
register.
Emanate from you.
I thought we were just best friends in college. And here we are.
This is in college?
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about in the schoolyard.
No, this is in college.
I thought you guys went to see
we're in college. We're watching a movie.
You're going to see a movie. Like,
we're watching a movie, and she grabs my crotch and kisses me, and I'm like, "What is going on?"
Do you still know? Do you know her name?
I do.
Was it Courtney?
I bet you if you look her up, she's got a girlfriend now.
No, maybe. I don't know.
Maria?
She sounds like a stud.
She was Hispanic. And by the way, she and I used to love playing video games together. She was a big video game addict. And we would go to this place.
That's hot. I like girls who are into video games.
Where we lived. And we would play the stand-up video games all the time. So we walked in together one time. And these black girls were like, "How come you don't date black girls? You're dating Hispanic girls and blah, blah, blah. You guys don't like us." And I'm like, what is going on?
I was like,
we're just playing video games. She's not my girlfriend.
But she was your girlfriend.
But I didn't know that.
Shit, dude. You
gotta
get with the program.
I did not know that. They thought that, and she thought, and I did not.
You need to write your autobiography.
I do. My autobiography would go, "Oh, wow, I had a lot of girls that I did not know about, but I was not interested in any way, shape, or form."
That's the subtitle?
Yeah.
That's a real bestseller.
I know.
Okay, well, here we are.
I think we need to take a break because we're going to talk about news here.
But we already talked about news.
No, we're going to talk about Justice Smollett. We're going to talk about Texas because we need to talk about this. Texas.
We already talked about Texas.
Texas is pissing us off, and you know this.
Huh? Joe.
Texas.
Are we taking another break?
Yes, because we have to.
Voy a fumar.
Okay.
Because this show is
Go
now
push the
an hour and a
button.
half. So
Boom! Drop the bomb on y'all.
Bitch,
Did you all hear that?
I am in command.
Groundbreaking stuff just happened.
if you're in command, then push the button. Push the button.
Push the button, bitch.
Captain here is falling asleep.
Well, wait, I don't even know what we're talking about.
Oh, let's talk about this pinkness. Oh my god. Like, it is everywhere on this jacket, and it just fucking looks fucking phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
You would never guess it's the first time I ever dyed anything.
Well, here's the thing. This is exactly what Randy and I wanted for this show, is to be talking about this stuff, because this is stuff that we have never been able to do.
And I think it's good. I think the things that he's uncomfortable with, I think he wants you to also be uncomfortable with and kind of rally up with him. Like the host roulette, he does not like.
Mm-hmm.
He's uncomfortable with it.
Oh, I don't really like that either.
I love it. I don't necessarily like being the whatnot, but
I don't like hosting the show.
I don't mind it, and I would love to do it.
By the way, you guys realize that we've been recording for the last 30 seconds.
Absolutely.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
You didn't say we're on air.
And we're on air.
Being
What the
out
fuck?
of being out of the
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a wonderful time. Ha ha ha.
but that leads right into like going to your happy place and like
Yeah, exactly.
me forcing myself into this because I'm so shy and trying to evolve as a person and grow and be more comfortable with myself, because what I put out there as an artist and the like self-love is my biggest push as an artist to like for every single person in the world to understand, like, if you're a good person, you do right by yourself, you do right by humanity.
Mm-hmm.
That's
You
so
have
true.
absolutely no fucking reason
That is
to
so
be
true.
self-conscious.
That's
you are
true.
doing the stuff you should be, and you like, you know, if there were auras around people, you know, this golden or platinum aura around you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
That's sort of
trying
like feed
to
yourself
be more
first
of
so
that.
you can feed
Right.
other people.
Yeah. I mean, and like, because I don't feel like I love myself as much as I should. I feel like I'm way more
I
self-conscious
agree.
about myself, and like, and I try to understand that. Like, taking psychology in school and learning about that stuff has super helped, because I know more about why I react to things the way that I do, and I'm able to break those things down and kind of autopsy my own behavior.
Right.
But it helps me interact with other people, because I then have so much more leniency, and there's that whole effect of me breaking down why somebody did what they did, and do I know why they did what they did? Can I rationalize the behavior with the cause, and like, do they get a pass for that or not, or are they just a dickhead? But like, that leads into the happy place. Like,
And by the way, we're back on the air.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is exactly what we've been trying to say for quite some time, that it is what it is.
It is.
And
it can be what it's not, even though sometimes it might look like it.
And the fact of the matter is, as gay men, this is what we worry about all the time.
What?
Everything.
We worry about everything.
All
We
the time.
worry about everything all the time. We worry about trying to be exactly everything that everybody wants us to be.
Because
I don't worry about that.
There's no example.
I don't worry about that at all.
Oh, see, that's awesome.
I have passions that I got lost somewhere along the way. So all my issues are self-imposed.
Well, right, but they all are for all of us.
Yeah, exactly.
And these things that
But none of them are with what other people think of me. It's like what I set for myself. I haven't achieved yet.
What
are the things that you're trying to
really
achieve,
hard on
though?
myself.
Like, I always wanted to be a writer and a musician and a director, and why I have done some of those things that never.
You
So-
don't feel
I'm not
like
really
a writer.
Can I
I'm not really
ask-
in tune with my creativity like I should be.
So
and actually
let me ask you a
producing like I should
question.
be.
Director of what?
Of films. Like, I've directed some short films. Like,
Okay.
I grew up wanting to be a director.
Okay.
As a child.
So why are you not doing those things?
You just
Bills to pay.
somewhere along the way you just get behind, and you get farther and further away from where you're trying to be, and a lot of it's fear, and a lot of it is, I lived in Hollywood for 4 years. I wrote scripts, but I'm a very shy person. I'm not like a networking person, so there's and I'm a super insecure person, So all those things, that's like a trifecta of things that are against me. So it's very hard for me to just, it's very hard for me to market myself. And eventually you just get further and further away from what you're trying to be. So I'm trying to get back to doing that. But, when you work 40 hours a week, you have and when you get older, I'm almost 45. So the level of energy I have is completely different than what you have. And so when I'm done for my 8-hour workday, I'm tired. I don't have energy to create after that.
Why not?
Because I'm just wiped out.
But it doesn't.
And by the way, I'm 51. I'm 51, and I'm always
thinking about it differently.
I'm always thinking about.
Right, it should be.
I think you're wanting every outlet to be a movement and be momentous, and you need to be counting the victories and the small things, and then using those as seeds and growing them into other things, and using, it could be something creative, okay, I'm going to apply a Spider-Verse filter to my day and apply a character to every single one of these people I come in contact with, and write a narrative for them. In my in the back of my mind, not actively doing it, just and then starting to have fun with it, and
I hear you. I
give myself homework.
It's about building momentum and continuing.
And little victories. I totally get what you're saying.
But until you build momentum,
and
it's hard to build momentum. Once you have momentum, it's easy to keep on going. But getting that momentum going is kind of the hard part.
But it's just like on a bike, where you start in the lower gears, they spin faster because there are more rotations.
That's true.
You add those little seedlets, and then those things pile up.
Seedlets. Yeah, I like that.
So,
it's
gentlemen,
kind of a hot thing. I just chucked up a little.
So, gentlemen, here's the question.
I'm gonna have a seedlet when I get home.
So, why are you two doing a podcast with two guys who are not experienced with podcasts at all? Why are you doing it?
Because I wanted to build that momentum, and since I started doing this podcast, it got me into a creative zone again, and I've been sort of brainstorming and writing more than I was since I started this podcast. Before I started this podcast, so it's helped me in building momentum. Just being around creative people, being on air, performing.
Art is reliant on atmosphere.
Yes, you have to be around other creative
and
people.
And constantly changing, and because we think differently. The happiest I've ever been in my entire life is when I've been at the Adobe Max conference. And it's like a big corporate conference, and you have all these top professionals in the industry, but they are all creatives. They all draw. They all take pictures. They all do animation. They all make movies.
You're in with your people.
And oh my gosh, it's giving me goosebumps just talking about it. How safe and at home and not weird, and how belong you feel in that space. And because creatives, they just get it. They understand coming at it from a completely T-bone perspective.
Right.
And they soak it up, and they don't fight it. And they say, well, how can I use that in what I do?
Oh, totally, yeah.
Well, if that's something that he does, but he doesn't do the same thing I do, doesn't mean that I can't use his mechanism in a way that works for me.
Right.
And I'm all about, lose the box, don't think outside the box, break the box down into pieces and make something else that works for the situation, because maybe it's not a box. Maybe it's, build what you need out of the box's pieces, because you have access to all of them. They don't have to be in a box.
Right.
Or outside the box.
I think this is a nice way for me to keep creativity going.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
A weekly thing.
I'm always jotting down, and it prompts me to research current events that I didn't know about. I'm the most unplugged person.
It's a chance to perform. Why give up a chance to perform?
Exactly.
Because grow.
And grow.
Exposure is everything for an artist.
Is a talent. It's a skill that you
I will say this. I have been told for years and years and years, you need to be a writer. You need to be this. You need to be that. You're a creative person. And I couldn't figure out where my creativity was. That was a problem. I couldn't figure out where to apply my creativity. I could not figure that out. I work like a normal person. I pay the bills. I do all the stuff. I keep a a roof over my head. That's what I do because that's what I learned how to do.
Right, and I think
because that's what I was told how to do.
I think we don't give ourselves enough credit.
But doing this as a show, and being able to talk to people who understand what I'm going through and everything else is an amazing thing. And as a gay man,
right? Exactly. We're a much smaller, more specific set where we can feel at home in every aspect of like. I specifically put on and pick out a pair of heels to wear to the show every week because I love that I can come here and do that. It's like a little treat.
And I would like to be able to have this fun with other gay men and be able to say, hey, no matter what you want to do. No matter what your thing is, just do it.
I think part of that is like we don't give ourselves enough credit and say like because I don't get paid as a writer, I'm not a writer. Because I don't get paid as a photographer, I'm not a photographer. Because I don't get paid to produce, I'm not a producer.
Right.
We let the fact that we're not specifically only doing that part of something unilaterally define that we are not that. And it's discouraging. And like, well, if I'm not getting paid to be a writer, then I'm not a writer. Then why am I wasting my time writing anything? Why am I taking pictures? If they're just going to go into my hard drive and just be there and exist in the ether forever in the cloud and no one ever see them. Like, because I don't do it for anyone other than myself because I have to do it. There's a push and a drive inside of me to do that. Because that is part of who I am.
Because whereas Randy is concerned and Randy's not here, and
we miss you, Randy.
We miss you, Randy.
We're all feeling a little Randy.
Fun.
Randy's having fun. He's mudding. He's riding like four-wheelers.
Muddy Randy. Yeah.
And doing all kinds of stuff. So he's having a good time.
He is having a good time. Mud.
And next week, but the thing is that with Randy and I both realized who we were a long time ago among our friends,
and I love that
as being creative people among people who may not understand that. And Randy has had this dream of wanting to do and this is Randy's thing. Randy has had this dream of wanting to open up a drag bar that was specifically towards drag, where everybody could be that kind of thing. And Randy has always wanted to do that. And I wanted to help him with that, but I didn't know how to do that. We don't know how to do that.
Right.
So the thing is that I would like to help Randy get there. And doing the show as how we do.
All about lifting each other up.
Is an idea of trying to figure out how to do that. And then, now that we're older and we're looking at the idea of being older in the gay community, and being older in the gay community is hard, especially here in Houston. It's so hard.
Why?
Because we don't have a place where we can be. We don't have a retirement home that we can graduate to. We don't have. Do you know? Understand?
The gay scene in Houston seems
do you realize that Randy and I have talked to a lot of gay men who are over a certain age who don't have places to go when they get older.
Oh, yeah.
And we would like to do that. And we would like to have
a place. Like to do what?
We would like to have a place.
An old gay commune.
Yes.
Let's do it.
I mean, honestly, it's like, it's seriously a sound idea. If you think
Joel and Randy's, the old gay commune. The motion picture.
Right. Texas tea, you could shape the building like a
Texas tea.
Well,
and when people are ready to kick the bucket, you feed them some tea with
exactly.
And then you harvest their body parts.
Right.
I mean, don't let that go to waste. Right? I
mean, are you really harvesting the body parts?
I mean,
instead of like those AARP,
I'm a Virgo. I'm majorly practical. Okay.
If instead of AARP sending you those cards, you get like an invitation to tea. Like, come join the tea party.
But they were going to grind you up.
Exactly.
And what is that group?
Randy and I have already found the perfect neighborhood where that could happen.
Where?
It's on the east side of town where the train goes. And
that saves on tea.
And there's a lot of space there.
Wait, I own a lot over by What is the Old Spanish Highway?
Mm-hmm.
Trail.
Yeah. Is that what you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Do you want my lot? I'll donate it to a
Yes,
commune.
that would be great because we want to be able to start businesses.
Really?
Like if you need an architect and a designer, like
I should show you guys buy it.
Randy and I
I
have
kind of
this.
just want to sell it and get rid of it.
Randy and I have this idea
I don't know what to
of
do with it.
people over a certain age being able to open up a community where they have restaurants and places to live and stores and everything else.
The villages had like
Yes,
STDs.
People of a certain age would be able to
How do you make
live.
money?
You don't use the collective wealth of the only people in the world who have disposable income, which is homosexuals, because we don't have.
But old gay people might not have.
That's the thing.
You don't know how to save.
You opted into the collective.
You build
And you create a network of it, and you build it off of incoming,
Like a pyramid scheme?
and like kind of.
You
but like
build a
donation.
clinic in that neighborhood that allows people to be able to take care of people of a certain age.
People taking care of. Oh, I'm sorry.
Take care of people of a certain age and be able to do that. And yep,
I think I love the idea. It's short of utopian. I think it's achievable. But
It's short of utopia, really?
Well, utopia is not achievable.
I would
It's
love for you
impossible.
Well,
guys.
that's an ideal.
I would love for you guys to be able to have a place where if you needed to retire,
I would love that. Like
if you
for
needed
somebody
to
who doesn't have
retire,
family and
you could
doesn't have-
retire
I want
in a
someone to take
place.
care of me. I need to start liking younger guys.
No. Here's what I would like. I would like for older people to understand something. You could do a lot of work in the community if you do it in your own community. So having gardens, having
Put back.
places to live, putting back into the community, doing that kind of stuff, older people can do that.
I would say a sense of community. Period,
Yes, just
which
because
is
you're
what's
old
lacking.
doesn't mean all
Yeah,
you can do is
exactly.
watch TV.
No.
There's lots of stuff you can do.
Older people need to be trained to be able to do the things that they need to do because that's what they need to do.
It's the same thing though with the ideals of like I'm not a writer. It's like you get this mentality of like I'm old. I'm just supposed to be old. This is
Right.
this is what I'm doing now. I'm just old.
Right.
Like porch swing, rocking chairs.
Oh, that
is
sounds
all I've
nice.
But
Wow,
older
you're
people
old.
need
I want
to
to rock in a porch swing and just read.
But older people need to start understand something. If you're going to take care of each other, you need to take care of each other.
Let's go tell.
Be the change you want to see
Yes.
in the world.
Let's propagate that message.
Yes.
Let's put it on a shirt.
Mm-hmm. It should be propagated, and that's what it should be. Because older gay people.
Spread it like a virus, y'all. You heard it here
For
first.
somebody like me who's like I'm 33,
Mm-hmm.
and no, I'm not facing like I'm looking.
But do you realize
I'm a
that-
way off? But like I know that I have zero familial network. Like honestly, if I were to kick the bucket now, nobody would miss me.
You're not. You don't. What
I
about your
would go
parents?
unclaimed.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a family.
I do. I have a huge family.
They've all disowned you.
I wouldn't say disown me. They've just kind of let me.
If you were if you were gonna go
I would have
homeless
no
and you
one
were
to
in
call.
need, no one would take you in.
No.
Oh.
And that's something like in the back of my mind. Like I try
But you
not
have
to think
friends.
about those things.
If I went homeless and I didn't have a family, I do have friends who would take me in.
I mean, I have people that
I
would
would think
probably
they
take
would.
me in, but like nobody to call. Like I haven't seen.
I
you
mean,
in
my
a few days, I haven't
ex-boyfriends are
heard-
still in love with me. Jesus Christ. They do.
Well, I mean, and I've got a couple of those, but like nobody who's going to check up on me. But every 3 years when they don't have a boyfriend or in between guys,
Yeah.
Like,
and then they
you
try
think
to
about that,
poison you because they got a boyfriend now. And
one
you're like,
chased after me with a frying
You
pan.
guys have ex-boyfriends, really? That's
yeah,
what you
and
do?
they're still in love with me.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
Yeah.
It's really weird because they don't act like it when you're around, and then
I
like,
shouldn't
they
say that. They're
try-
not in love with me. They still like me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That means I'm a nice guy,
Mm-hmm.
It means that you are a manipulative shithead and you stuck a dagger in their heart that they can't get out. Like
That
a piece of
means-
popcorn.
Actually, what it
stuck
means is I have zero manipulative. I have no manipulative bone in my body.
it's all the baton.
It's.
But no, I mean, like, that's something like, and I really try not to think about those things. Like, I would say that when I was in my early 20s, 35 was the cap for me. Like, and I'm approaching that now.
The cap for what? In terms of guys that you would date?
No, in terms of, like, I'm going to live until I'm 35. Right. I have, like, this weird, auspicious feeling that at 35, I'm toast.
You're going to kick the bucket? You still have that?
Kind of. Like, I'm looking at my life and I'm, like, thinking about, like, okay, well, was that rational? Was it not rational? Is it a feeling I still have? And, like, I just kind of, like, keep burning the candle at both ends to, like, not worry about it. And I'm like, am I causing it by doing that? I'm like,
do you meditate?
I don't, but I try everything that I do to be meditative.
Oh, I see.
I spend a lot of time in those spaces, like, creatively, and I try not to, like, things that are out of my control. In the zone, sort of. I try to not attempt to control.
Right. How are we doing there, Mr. Producer?
Doing fine.
Is it time to wrap this baby up?
It's time to wrap this baby up.
Okay, well, I wanted to end the show on, our little moment of zen, or what does Oprah say?
You have 10 minutes.
I still have 10 more minutes?
You have 10 minutes.
Are you going to make it to 10 minutes, Mr.?
What did the penis say to the condom?
Wait.
You have 10 minutes.
So, there's times...
Cover me, I'm going in.
Huh? What? Say again?
I said, what did the penis say to the condom?
What?
Cover me, I'm going in.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry, that was my deep moment.
That's very deep.
I thought we were doing deep thoughts.
No.
You have 10 minutes.
What's your deep thought, sir?
My deep thought is just, I have no idea. Just do your thing as a gay man.
Just do your thing as a gay man. There you go.
To uplift your fellow gay man.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of taking an opportunity to cut somebody down and read them, like, take a moment and think, like, could I lift this person up? Is what I'm saying nice, necessary? Is it helpful? Is it constructive?
Mm-hmm.
My brother's wife's daughter, so that makes her what? My niece-in-law?
Brother's wife's daughter. She's
my niece.
Just your niece, yeah.
My niece. No, but it's not my brother's daughter. My step-niece. I have a step-niece. She has always be kinder than necessary. And it's so true. It's like, why you gotta be fucking mean? Just be like...
Like, what does it take to not do that? Like,
yeah, and when I meet people who are just friendly, you're like, wow, it's so nice. And it's like, why isn't everyone like this? It's not
then you meet somebody who is, like, mean, is like, you're going way out of your way here. You're creating so much work for yourself. And, like, extra interactions with people.
They usually just have issues they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Or, sometimes people who have chronic pain, they just... I mean, if I had chronic pain, I'd be a nightmare.
But, like, I think that the lashing out and creating, like, hypertension in your homeostasis
some people
by
are just
being
toxic,
vigorous like that is actually exacerbating your condition if you have chronic pain. Like, being easygoing, being the path of least resistance creates less tension in your body. If you're from a Zen standpoint, like, less tension everywhere means that you have less pressure points pulling on you wherever.
True. Maybe.
I mean, that's science between tension, but, like, who knows?
Yeah.
I have a tendency to cross platforms as far as philosophies go. Like,
yeah,
I think they're applicable. I think
interbreeding philosophy.
Yeah, Hispanic, Asian.
Yeah,
all of them. Breed all of them.
There you go, audience. Always be kinder than necessary. We love you. I guess until next week. Randy will be back. Do we know what's happening next week?
No, we won't, but we will talk about this.
We're going to give you a nice preview.
We're going to give you a nice preview on my...
You're going to like it.
A little dick print, like in the gym shorts.
You're going to love it,
next
baby. Good night. Everyone say goodbye.
Everybody say goodbye.
Bye.
If you ain't going to be good at it.